but we did get this as of the past 15 minutes or so. Our first forecast for the 2025 hurricane season. You'll see the average right here of tropical storms, which is just going to be any storm that they do decide to give a name to. Once you reach tropical storm status, they do give you the next name on the list. Hurricanes is once you get up to those sustained wind speeds. I think it's somewhere around 78 to 80 miles per hour. Got to refresh my tropical meteorology knowledge. It's been quite a while. And then major hurricanes. So 14 is the average for named storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes, which are going to be category 3 or greater hurricanes. Well, what Colorado State has forecasted is 17 named storms, above that average of 14, 9 named hurricanes, which is above the average of 7, and then 4 major hurricanes, which is above the average of 3 that we typically see in a season. So obviously, this is an above average forecast. However, let's compare it to last year. It was a very active hurricane season last year. 18 named storms, 11 hurricanes, and 5 major hurricanes. So while this is above average, it doesn't look to be as active as last year, which hopefully does come true. And Colorado State does have a pretty good track record when it comes to these hurricane forecasts. They definitely hit the nail on the head with the major hurricanes last year. They forecasted 5, and 5 actually ended up playing out. And another update we did get as of yesterday, 3 names from the list last year got retired for the damage that resulted from them. Hurricane Beryl, which was an unprecedentedly early Category 5 hurricane that tracked through the Caribbean and eventually impacted parts of Texas and sprouted tornado warnings from the state of Texas all the way up to Maine, even as it did dissipate and it did disorganize into a tropical storm. Hurricane Beryl will not be used again. You probably guessed it, Hurricane Helene will not be used again for all the damage it did here in central Georgia, the state of Georgia, the Florida Panhandle, and especially up in the Appalachian Mountains and areas of western North Carolina. And then Hurricane Milton, which impacted that west coast of Florida. Hurricane Milton has been retired as well. So 3 named hurricanes getting retired. The next time we see that list of names, which will be in another 5 or 6 years, I do believe, if my math is correct, those names will not be on the list. They will be replaced with other names. So obviously you don't want to have another hurricane named Helene, because then you start to associate that with what did happen this past year. So 3 retired hurricane names, our first hurricane forecast for the 2025 hurricane season. We'll continue to get more of these forecasts as we do get closer. Hurricane season doesn't kick off until June 1st, so we still have a ways to go, a little bit less than 2 months, and the peak of activity typically isn't until we get to August. But obviously with Beryl popping up sometime around July 4th last year, it's not out of the question to see a strong hurricane pretty early in the season, and it's something we'll obviously continue to come update you with on here on 13 WMAZ Plus as we do get these named storms in the forecast and go all the way down the list of names. We've got to update that new list of names that I'll continue to probably put in my weekly weather segment that I do air each and every weekend for Friday all the way through Sunday. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. I won't be on here for a specific live stream. That's kind of where things stand in terms of our forecast. The big highlights, obviously going to be very warm, so get your fill of summer activities in, because it will be cooler next time, or this time next week. We're talking highs back down into the upper 60s, which is more typical of spring, but that still is pretty below average. And if you remember that temperature outlook I was showing you for next week, it is lining up with that. We had a really good probability of seeing below average temperatures. Looks like that will come to fruition. As we go into the weekend, keep your eyes on Sunday, the second half of your Sunday, all the way into Monday for the potential for some severe storms. Once again, I'm not really buying widespread severe storms, even a tornado risk like we were with Monday's system. The chances with this one and the parameters for this one are much, much lower, but it is something to obviously stay weather aware with during the severe weather season, and kind of keep this on the back of your mind too. Hurricane season is less than 2 months away, so we will be keeping a close eye on any more forecasts, see how they compare to Colorado State's forecast, which, like I said, they have a pretty good track record. That is what we're going to really keep a close eye on in the coming months as we transition out of our severe weather season into the official Atlantic hurricane season. So thank you for joining in. I hope you have a great Thursday, and I hope that many of you have safe travels coming back from spring break. And if I did have to give you a piece of advice, the earlier the better if you are planning on traveling back on Sunday. You don't want to be out on the road Sunday evening when possible showers and storms are rolling in. So thank you for tuning in. Have a great Thursday, and I hope you all have a blessed day.